Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is March the 20th, 2023, and today the topic is trust and God's wisdom. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Saturday was pretty chill. Your girl just pretty much stayed in with my men folk, kept it low key. Um, from what I'm understanding, it was cold and all that good stuff on Saturday around here, and so I was like, I know I got a busy day tomorrow. I'm just gonna stay in. So that's pretty much what Saturday was like. And then on Sunday, I was well. I went and worked at the church, got my word and worship in as well. And yeah, pretty much after that, just came on back home, tried to catch up on rest, and that's pretty much it. That was my weekend in a nutshell. Obviously other things is going on and whatnot, but um, for the most part, that's my weekend. Something else to say about that. But let's get into this conversation, y'all. Trust and God's wisdom, because well, one, I woke up this morning 2:59, and I came across a verse, and I just kept coming across that same verse, and I'm like, okay, um, trying to seek the Lord about what it is, and I started to go deeper and look into the names that were mentioned in this verse and all this type of stuff, and I believe I was receiving some type of revelation, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not sure what this means, Lord. Are you saying that this is me, or like what? I'm not clear, right? I'm not understanding. And just when I was thinking to myself, like, I mean, maybe I missed something or whatever the case is, um, I noticed that the word trust kept being repeated this morning. And not only that, some ideas and stuff was being downloaded in my heart and mind. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, and I'm trying to write down those as well as look into those names and get a deeper understanding of revelation. And then, so a lot was going on in my mind this morning. But yeah, I did notice that the word trust was reiterated multiple times this morning. The prayer meditation was kind of centered around trust. I feel like someone sent me a message that had the word trust in it. And yeah, so ultimately, after I realized how much trust had been, um, you know, I guess coming across my heart and mind this morning, um, ultimately, like at that moment, I had also come across a word that led me to the Hebrew word for wisdom. And I was like, okay. And then when I started looking to that, I mean, it automatically goes right into God's wisdom and everything like that. And I guess because, again, like I said, I believe I was receiving a revelation about 2:59, but I think perhaps it might just be for me and not something that I should share with y'all. But regardless of that, I still really didn't fully understand like why I was receiving that, right? And if it was for me or about me or what, right? And I guess ultimately when I realized that the word trust and then this whole thing about wisdom, that's what had me look into these verses centered around trust and then God's wisdom. And so at first I was thinking that the topic was going to be trust in God's wisdom, which I'm like, okay, I feel like I've talked about this over and over again. But on the flip side, I'm like, well, I am in a situation where I need to trust God's wisdom over my own, right? Um, and so, well, we need to do that in all things, right? But still, that's at least the inspiration for today. Shout out to my cousin tuning in live. Good morning, brother. Um, but yeah, so with all of that on my heart and mind this morning, I started, looking up verses centered around trust and God's wisdom. And they were resonating with me this morning, and I'm going to share the ones that were standing out to me to share. All right, so here we go. Jeremiah 17:7-8. It says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So, now the interesting thing is I came across this verse on openbible.info. But something about it made me want to go to the Bible app to confirm. I think it was like something around that word trust or whatnot. And so I went to the King James version basically, and that's what I just read to you all. But I mean, well, one, it's encouraging to read that word this morning. It was encouraging. I feel like it's confirmation because, anybody that knows my testimony about what's been going on since the pandemic and everything like that. I mean, I ain't trying to puff myself up in any way, but I feel like the tree planted by the river, right? In the midst of all the crazy things going on, the Lord has saw fit for me to flourish, right? And to build and to grow and to do whatever else he's doing with me, for me, and through me in this season. But yeah, I mean, when I guess I apply this to my situations, right? And on one hand, it seems kind of, I don't know, is the word arrogant? it seemed kind of arrogant to be like, oh yes, I am the tree planted by the river and I'm going to flourish no matter what. But I mean, it does tell us that those that put their faith and trust in the Lord, I mean, it won't be in vain, ultimately, is what I receive when I'm studying these things. And not to say that that's the only reason why I'm putting my faith and trust in the Lord, just to get and reap the benefits of that, right? But the peace that comes with it for me, at the end of the day, I may not fully understand all things. Just like this morning, I'm sitting here telling y'all like 2:59, and I'm understanding some things, but I'm not fully understanding all the things that the Lord was downloading in my heart and mind this morning in regards to that, right? But and even with same thing with my life, I may not fully understand like why things go the way they do and why things happen the way they do and things like that. But what I have seen is the more that I lean in and depend on the Lord, the more that I trust him, the more that I allow him to take vengeance and me to not go that route. I mean, the Lord has provided, the Lord has done miraculous things in my life. And so that's all I can really share as my testimony, at the end of the day, that that these words ring true, at least in my life, right? And so yeah. So let me keep going. Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." Ooh. Honestly, y'all, this was much more harsh in the openbible.info version, where I was like, let me go see what the Bible app has to say, because I was like, I mean, because the openbible.info version has "my children is stupid, X, Y, and Z," and I was like, whoa, is that accurate? But sottish does mean that, so I mean, but I guess it's a little easier on the palate than the meat. I mean, this might be pulp though, right? This might be pulp to see and hear that the Lord look at us this way, and everything. But I mean, again, if we see our actions, right? We see what we do with our free will. We see all the different things that we're dealing with in life. I mean, again, these words ring true. We might be a little foolish and maybe even stupid or whatever the case is, right? But then also just to I guess add a little bit more context. When I looked up the definition of the word sottish, it talked about like being drunk and whatnot as well. So, maybe just not stupid in regards to intelligent, right? But, also maybe your mind is gone from being drunk or something. Who knows? Just saying. Just saying. Adding a little more context so you don't feel completely bad to hear that. Because then that was the other thing too. I was looking into it just to make sure. Okay, was this a word from the Lord or was this somebody's else's? And it was a prophet that was talking at one point, but then when it got to this part, it did seem to be a word from the Lord. So in reference to people, I guess in general, but perhaps maybe the Israelites in particular. But I mean, we just like them, so we can't sit here and be, judging the fact that they took a long time to get to the promised land and all this type of stuff. So yeah, let me take a second to see. Let's see, my cousin has some things to say. So he says, I agree with you. I have no problem to do what he says until he says, be still and know that I am God. Be still was hard for me, just how I relate to this morning message thus far. And well, to God be the glory. I'm glad that you feel me, man. You understand what I'm talking about here. Like, yeah, that is a little bit difficult to wait, right? And to trust the Lord fully and things like that. So I'm not alone, y'all. My cousin is he's saying amen. He's saying amen this morning. I just messed up my screen, but oh well. Let's keep going, y'all. So here we go. Jeremiah 9:23-24. It says, thus says the Lord, let not the wise man boast in his wisdom. Let not the mighty man boast in his might. Let not the rich man boast in his riches, but let him who boasts in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am the Lord who practices steadfast love, justice, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, declares the Lord. Now y'all know we as humans, we boast about everything else. Now, fellow believers, y'all might be, I guess with me in this whole boast of the Lord situation. But if not, I mean, to be honest, yeah, when we make an observation, we definitely boast in all the other things. And I don't know. I mean, this really stood out to me this morning, at least to write down and to share. But I mean, I guess, when I think about this conversation of trust and then God's wisdom and everything like that, I mean, I guess this has a little bit of both, right? Because again, if you're going to boast in the Lord, right, and because you understand He has all the wisdom, you understand that at the end of the day, the true wise man, and I was going to look this up, but I didn't, so y'all can confirm whether this is Bible or not. But I've always heard something along the lines of like wise men, right, know that they don't know anything. That's the true wise person. The ones that think they're wise, they think they know it all. And then they, I guess, come to find out that they don't. So something like that. I don't know whether that's Bible or whether that's just human observation and, somebody made a good quote or whatever the case is. However, I guess we can use this as a example here of trusting the Lord as well as God's wisdom, because this is the Lord's wisdom. He's saying, not to boast in our own wisdom, but boast in His wisdom. Don't boast in our own might, boast in His might. Don't boast in our own riches, but boast in His riches. And this is what pleases Him at the end of the day. So there's something to think about here. So I noticed after I wrote all these down that all of these were from Jeremiah that I ended up sharing. I'm like, that's interesting. So that was one thing I looked up, and then I noticed that majority of the Go Deeper section is from Isaiah, and I looked those two names up as well, and that they were a nice little reminder for me as well. So if y'all need to do that or want to do that, by all means, check it out. But anywho, let me see. I have one more verse in regards to the juice, and it is Psalm 22. 4-5. It says, in you our fathers trusted. They trusted and you delivered them. To you they cried and were rescued. In you they trusted and were not put to shame. So, at the end of the day, if you're struggling with trusting the Lord, like understand that, hey, well, plenty of people trusted the Lord before you. None of them were put to shame. And even though the things don't, like I say, they things may not always pan out the way we think they should, right? And sometimes it has to do with us and what we do and things like that. Sometimes it's not even the Lord. Like at the end of the day, he lets us know, okay, there's things or contingencies and plan for your, shortcomings and things like that. But that doesn't mean that you may not experience some type of consequence to whatever choices and whatnot you make in life and stuff like that too. And then some things are just because, we're living here on earth and human nature, X, Y, and Z. I mean, I know that there's sicknesses and pestilences and different things. And sometimes we might not feel like it's fair or whatever to go through things in life. But to be clear here, and I was thinking about this yesterday when I was in church or whatever, during worship, I think that basically Jesus himself did not, avoid the hardships of life. The man fasted, and had to deal with hunger pains all the way to being beaten by his own creation. So, who are we to think that we're above him? At the end of the day, if he humbled himself to go through the trials and tribulations of life, then we should understand that we're going to go through some trials and tribulations too. And we may not like it. It might not feel good. But the beautiful thing is that we have hope and joy and peace and love and all those things in spite of those things because of him. So, I mean, that's the juice today. I guess a reminder for me to go ahead and trust and depend on the Lord and continue to trust and depend on the Lord and his wisdom. And everything like that. Every day of my life, I was going to say in this season, but yeah, every day of my life, I need to do this. And yeah, I get, that's the juice. That's the juice. I know my cousin got something else to say, but let me go ahead and wrap up with the Bible verse of the day, and then we can chit chat. Let me see. The Bible verse of today is 3 John 1:11. It says, "Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil hath not seen God." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, my cousin Morris. Thank you all for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. I'm trying to adjust my screen here because it just went super big, but I do see this quote, but it won't do no good for me to put it on the screen when I can't see it. Let me see. Okay, there we go. I at least moved it to the side. It says, "In my quest to know everything, I found that there will always be more I don't know than I do." Amen. Exactly. And there's a lot of people that thinking that they're wise and whatnot, especially when it comes to the things of the Bible and God and everything like that. And I don't know, they might be in for a bit of a rude awakening when it comes to the end of their life. I know have you seen like different they talk about people when they're on their deathbed and things like that. I think I shared a video or somebody talking about I guess the guy that invented the Church of Satan and whatnot, and they talked about his last words, and I don't want to misquote or whatever, so y'all can go look it up or whatever, but I think he was saying something along the lines of like, I guess he started to see like, I don't know if he saw God. I don't know. But it was interesting to hear what his last words were. And then at the same time too, I wonder about people that proclaim to be atheists, but not even just them, but like the ones that really be gung-ho enough to make whole movements and then to be inspiring other people. Like that's very, in my little humble opinion, that's a very risky thing to do, especially when as somebody that reads the Bible, like, even if you don't believe what it say, like I would just probably, keep that to myself, whatever the case is, to be honest. That's me though. That's me. Other people like to get out there and proclaim and do what they do. And then, they cause other people to stumble. And so not only do you have, your own life on your hands, but then you got you kind of have the blood of other people on your hands when you do things like that. So I don't know. I mean, but by all means, use your free will, do what you you got free will to do what you want to do in life. But yeah, stuff like that is just very interesting, because then I wonder, like, there's this why am I talking about this right now, Lord? Anyway, this is dude. I've told y'all about him a few times. Frank Turek is his name, and he's debated a few atheists and whatnot. And I think one of them has passed at this point. And I can't help but wonder, like, what the man, you know, wherever, whatever happened, after his death, whatever the case is, like, wherever he ended up, where, now that he actually knows what happens after death, I wonder how he's thinking and feeling. And I don't know. Anyway, that's deep though. That's deep thoughts this morning. My cousin say, Drew, I don't know, because at the end of the day too, I know my mom says this all the time, as well, that at the end of the day, if we that are believers, right? If we are wrong, then there's nothing lost, nothing gained, right? But if unbelievers are wrong, that's everything. Like, that costs everything. And I don't know, like, people like to gamble, I guess, but that's a huge gamble when you think about, like, it's a 50-50 chance that I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Now my screen went back down. Okay. Will it go back down again? Okay, well, at least I could see the button to end the conversation. I don't know if anybody is still there or not, because I can't see that part. But thank you to anybody that tuned in. I can't put nothing back on. Well, maybe I can. Hold on. No. Okay, wait. I just found my banners. Okay, I think my cousin's still here. I see one person. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in, liking, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. Like I said, yeah, we still trying to hit the goals. Y'all know, the different goals and whatnot. But yeah, on the flip side though, I'm just thankful to be doing this. No, okay, I just saw something come in. Hold on. Let me go back and see. Oh no, here we go. Okay. Let's yeah, because my screen is like this, because I think you said something. Hold on. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. See, this is the issue. Everyone has a role to play. God is purposeful. That's true. That's true, everybody. And I think that's the problem with belief, like unbelief, right? Because then, if, say, for example, you feel like, we just got here by accident and everything like that, then it's like there's no purpose to our life and stuff when we think like that. And I don't know. I'd rather believe there's purpose. And says, I'm thankful you are faithful in this. Oh, cuz thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, I'm trying out here, like I said, this has been such a life-changing experience for me to be doing this. And I enjoy it. Honestly, I do it because I enjoy it as well. And like I said, I did receive something this morning from 259. But like I said, I don't know if it's just for me or what. So yeah, I didn't share it basically, but I'm like, Lord, are you talking? Is this for me? Are you saying that this is what I am? And if so, I mean, I'm confused, because that's very, how can I say? It was a very, not say high position, but I don't know how else to say. Cousin say listening. Speaking of listening, bro, like, let me tell you, I looked up the meaning of Sims and it said listener. Did you know that? Yeah, I looked up the meaning of the name Sims and it said listener. Which is interesting because I feel like I'm always listening to people. But let me see. He said he didn't know. Yeah, that's when I googled that this morning, because some things, like, the Lord was downloading some ideas and things to me and whatever. And me and this other young lady, we have the same last name, even though we're not family that we know of. But we might be collaborating on some things. And I was like, I wonder what that name means. He says, oh, he says Morris is protector of the word. Okay. Protector of the word. You better look, get it then, cuzzo. Listen, we got to be on the lookout for my cuz, man. He got a lot of great things. He got, I say he's an author and everything like that. You know, look, them Sims be talented now. Oh, goodness. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about trying to look up my name since it's Miraculous. Is like I have to kind of piece together my name and what it could possibly mean. But I guess when you look up miracle, I mean, obviously you can, look up a definition for miracle, but not for Miraculous. So yeah. Says yes, amen. All right. You look, believe and receive. That's what you are, cuzzo. But all right, I won't sit here and belong y'all's time and everything like that. No plans really for today. I'm gonna be, I guess, trying to have some conversations and praying and I guess seeking the Lord about what He want me to do. He says mine is from Maurice. What do you mean? Oh, like Morris is from Maurice, or the inspiration. Sometimes I wonder. I know Mom said that. I guess my name came to her in a dream. Sometimes I wonder, like, what could the inspiration have been for Miraculous? But anywho, people be like, "Oh, you live up to your name." I'm like, "Oh, I try. I mean, I'll just be trying to, use my gifts and talents. That's all I'll be trying to do." But yeah, y'all. Well, yeah, I hope y'all have a wonderful Monday. It's been cold lately here in Georgia, y'all. It's been cold over there where you at, cuz it has been cold around here, and it's been weird. Look, did the groundhog come out or not? I didn't pay no attention when Groundhog Day came by, or has it been Groundhog Day this year? I don't even know. I don't even know what the holiday is. He was supposed to let us know if it was gonna be cold. I was thinking about my good old hometown, and briefly this morning or whatever, and there's some good things to growing up in a small town in Jackson and stuff. He says, I believe we find ourselves in the word just like Jesus did. He said it is cold. Yeah, it's been cold, man. I believe so too. I believe that's what the Lord wants us to do as well. And that's why we gotta lean and depend on His wisdom at the end of the day, not our own. Because there might be way more to us than we think. And but when we're not in the word, we, yeah. He says, and I'm a polar bear. What, you like the cold? What you saying? Woo. But yeah, so it's good to be chit-chatting with you, cuzzo. As always, I thank you for tuning in and everything and commenting and talking to your girl. It's hard for me to see if you're sending stuff. Hold on. Okay. Yes, and I'm okay, so it don't seem like you do like the cold. Got it. I used to say, you know what I used to say? I used to say, oh, I'd rather be cold than hot because then you can bundle up. But I'm like, sometimes you still just can't get warm when it's that cold, though. You know what I'm saying? You can be all bundled and everything, and you still not warm. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the summer person. Like, I'd rather, wear my tank tops and sandals and stuff. Now that I think about it a little bit more. Let's see. I think something came in. All right. Well. Oh, wait. Did things go back to normal? It looks a little bit more normal now. Okay, cuz. Well, listen. You can always hit me up. It says evolving is something else. I know. Yep. The more you grow and learn, man, you be like, yeah, maybe things ain't like how I thought. I used to think I liked the cold But now I'm like, now that it's cold, I'm like, I think I prefer, because again, I think being up in New York at that time, back when I was doing the movie, that would played a part as well. Because again, you be bundled up, then you be like, man, I cannot get warm. And yeah. So anyway, but all right, for real though, I done said bye a few times. Well, I didn't say bye yet, but I said I was gonna let you go. Am I going to go back to sleep? Guess we'll see. Oh, he says, I'm glad God isn't boring like I thought. You thought God was boring? Oh, no. I mean, honestly, yeah, I think there's way much, like, we'll never fully know the glory of God, honestly. Like, I think we all just get little bits and pieces and stuff, but we probably won't ever be able to fully understand. Because I mean, I know even this morning, as I was sitting here thinking about, like, again, the grace and mercy that God gives us and stuff, I'm like, I don't think we can really fully understand that concept. It's so funny. Like, so I'm working at church now, because I don't know if you know that or not, but basically, and yesterday, the message for the kids was about forgiveness and whatnot, and I felt like obviously it's like right on time, for from things I'm going through, basically, and I just was like, well, I know, Lord, I be trying to just forgive people and just grace and mercy and all that, and what I was talking about, and see, again, I think that because we deserve, technically all of us deserve what Jesus received on the cross, right? It's like, and we are forgiven because of what he did. That's just a whole nother concept, like, because we don't be wanting to forgive nobody. We don't want to really give nobody grace and mercy, because we don't feel like it's fair. We don't feel like there's justice in it. We don't feel like if I forgive you, then sometimes I guess it makes us feel like, that it's okay that you did what you did. And that's not true. I mean, I think forgiveness, like they say, is for us, as well as to understand, like, at the end of the day, God has given me grace and mercy and forgiven me. Therefore, I forgive you. And you don't have to repay or whatever. At least that's what they were breaking down to the kids yesterday. And yeah. He said as a young adult, he thought God was boring. The creator of all things, man. Forgiveness is a decision. Healing is a process. That is true. That is true. I think we have a lot of choices in life, and we don't want me to get this out, huh? No, I think we pretend like we don't have all the choices, and again, not to say the grace and mercy, but the self-control and the power within us. Like, God has given us all of that authority and all of that over a lot of things, and we keep pretending like we don't got it, and then we keep being confused about why things be so messed up in our life. Well, you should have just took power and authority over whatever your situations are. Man, let me tell you. Okay, I probably won't get too deep particular details, but I would say I shared with you guys a few weeks ago how I had a conversation with someone on the talk show or whatever, and she reminded me that I needed to take my authority over certain situations and pray over it and whatnot before I get into it or have conversations or whatever the case is. And I'm seeing that thing move. Like, anytime I have particular conversations now, I try my best to just pray about it and whatnot before I have them. And I notice them conversations be real short. They be calm. They be at peace. And I'll be at peace when I get done with them. And I'll be like, Lord, you really okay? Sometimes we need to, flex our authority muscles, right? You know what I mean? Use them gifts and stuff that God has given us, because we got more power than we think we do. So I don't know. I guess I've been practicing. I've been putting it to the test. I'm like, all right, so Lord, you say I can situations. You say I can, say whatever I need to say to so things won't go the way they've been going. And I've been practicing to do that, and I've been noticing the difference. I'm like, oh wow. I guess I got more snow outside than I thought I had. Because I said yes and amen. And I know one of the ladies I was doing I say behind the scenes, but basically like so I'm in the children's ministry or the elementary room at church now, and they have like the sound, lighting, and like display stuff that they put up on screens for the kids and stuff. And I love you, cuz. And so at some point we're putting up stuff, and I'm listening to the message about forgiveness that the kids were listening to yesterday, and I kind of shrugged to the lady that was doing the images and whatnot. I was like, if only we did this stuff as adults, like if only we did these things that we're trying to teach and bestow upon the children to do, is like, we should do that. You can't, like, if everybody showed each other grace and mercy and be like, you know what, I forgive you. You did me wrong, X, Y, and Z. We acknowledge that, but I forgive you because God forgives me. Like, how different would the world look if everybody really did that? Like, I think it would look real different, but we won't be wanting to do that. He said, when you can see growth is beautiful. It is. It really truly is, because I'll be like, wow, it'd be blowing my mind. It'd be blowing my mind. And I think that's why, at this point, like I said, I guess I enjoy doing this in general, but these things, it's exciting to see what like the Lord wants to share with me in the mornings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, and it's been amazing to see like God just moving and different things growing and flowing. And so, yeah. Well, listen, do you want to just talk, cuz? Or you want to just call? Or what you want to do? Or you want to just keep chatting on here? I'll wait a few seconds to see. But as for everybody else, I hope that you all are, encouraged and inspired by watching this and listening to this conversation and everything like that, y'all. Yeah, that's what I hope at the end of the day. He said we could talk. All right, well, you got my number, right? Or you got access. Just hit me up. But yeah, that's for everybody, y'all. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. And yeah, I hope you all were encouraged and inspired by today's juice. Be on the lookout. The audio should be coming out soon if you missed the video, or you can just catch this replay. Just go and replay this and everything. But say he'll check. All right then. Well, if all hearts and minds is clear, I hope that you guys have a wonderful Monday, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.